Tomorrow, God of War Ragnarok is finally upon us. At the time of recording this video, we have less than 12 hours before the stores open, or if you're getting it online, then you can probably just, download it at midnight or whatever. But it's right around the corner. So I want to do this quick video, top 10 additional things that I hope that God of War has in the sequel. These are just 10 things that I hope to see, 10 things that I kind of loved in the original 2018 version that I really hope that they carry over into this new version. Kind of a wish list, if you will. Nothing too specific, nothing too crazy. Like I said, just things that I really enjoyed in the first game that I really hope that they double down on in God of War Ragnarok. Before we begin, just letting you guys know, I will be doing a full playthrough of this series. First episode dropping tomorrow. I'm very excited to share this experience with you guys. I know that you guys don't want spoilers. I think the first episode's probably just gonna be like the first half hour, first hour, something like that, depending on how the story goes. I'm not really sure. We might experience an intro or something. So it'll probably be like the first 30 minutes to the first hour of the game, just to give you guys a glimpse for those who maybe aren't sure or just want to get excited with me. I'm really excited to share in this experience with you. One thing that I could ask is if you guys could please drop a like on the first episode when it drops. If you're not subscribed, please do so and drop a like on that first video. This is a series that I'm very excited about, continuing to follow a dream that I'm very passionate about, which is storytelling through games and sharing my experience through story games that, which is kind of what I grew up with. Doing story-based games. So it holds a special place in my heart, and I really want to continue doing that. And dropping even a like on the video, a comment, or just watching the video through is really helpful. You have no idea. So let's just get into the list. So the first thing that I really want to see in God of War Ragnarok is more exploration and more side quests. Now this kind of goes hand in hand with the second thing that I really want, but I really just want the ability to explore. I really liked how in God of War 2018 we had the canoe that we could use to kind of go into different areas. And as we continued and continued through the story and got through some of the realms, we got the opportunity to, drain the water from the lake of the 9 realms and explore even more. And I absolutely loved that. So I think in the trailer, one of the trailers that I saw, it looks like you do get that ability again to hop in the canoe and do a little bit of exploration. So I really hope that that's kind of doubled down in the sequel and we get a chance to really, dive into the world a little bit, and do that whole thing. With the game being on the PS5, it'd be really cool if there was like kind of a seamless transition into the realms. With God of War 2018, it came out on PS4. So naturally, I liked how they had us go through the little interdimensional area, which was basically just a glorified loading screen, in a way to kind of seamlessly transition us. But I'm hoping with the PS5 specs, we're able to really just kind of boom, boom, go right into the next realm. But additional increased exploration, even in the different realms that we explore, I really hope that that's kind of an option. And by exploration, I mean exploration outside of just the Lake of the Nine. Really, when we go to new realms, it'd be really cool if in those realms there's kind of an exploration area that we can explore. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the second thing. The second thing that I would love to see in God of War Ragnarok is the ability to explore all 9 realms. Now, if you guys remember, and I said this in kind of a YouTube short that I posted, in the first game, we really didn't get a chance to do all that much exploration in all the 9 realms. I think we only got to do the first 6. We didn't get to do a couple of it might have been like 5 or 6 realms, something like that. But we only got to experience 5 or 6 realms in the game, a few of which were blocked by Odin. So given the fact that we're dealing with Thor, hopefully we'll deal with Odin in this game, and that'll give us a chance to explore the realms that we didn't get to explore. But I'd also like to, I think it'd be cool to explore some of the realms that we did in maybe more detail and more depth than we did. I think some of the realms like Muspelheim, I believe, was a realm that we really only got to go to for a second. But there really wasn't much there. And then there was other realms. I think there was 2 realms in the game. I can't remember the names of them, but they were really just like battle areas for us to test our might, get new armor. There was cool like secret armor that you could get if you accomplish and beat this area. So I would like the opportunity to do that once again, in more detail. Speaking of hidden areas, in a few of those hidden areas, we got the chance to fight Valkyrie. Now, I'd argue that in some of the hidden areas, the Valkyries that were there were some of the toughest in the game, in my opinion. And so I just hope that in some capacity we get Valkyrie fights. It did seem like they were in some kind of space area in one of the trailers, and in that space area, I do believe that there was Valkyrie that they were fighting. And so I hope that that's not like a mandatory thing. I really liked how the Valkyrie were optional fights, but the benefit of what you got from beating them individually and then all together was well worth the cost of admission. So I'm really hopeful that we get the chance in this next game to fight optional Valkyrie like we did in the first game. I love those fights, and I would argue that they were some of the most interesting aspects of God of War 2018. So in terms of upgrades and getting stronger, one of the things that I really love about the original God of War was the skill system, the skill tree, ability to upgrade certain skills, and I really hope that that's there, but I hope that they kind of increase a little bit. I would love more attributes, more of kind of like RPG elements, and I know some people may not like that because RPG elements seem to be intertwined or integrated into just about every game these days, but I would love to see the skill tree be a little bit more intricate, not complicated in a way, but just a little bit more, just having a little bit more to it, more skills, more choices, maybe opportunities. I would love a level up system, and that kind of existed in the first game, but in terms of like getting our increased health and stuff, I think that really came from like drops and finding certain items in the game that gave us increased health. And I thought that was cool, but I would love an opportunity to kind of do an Elden Ring thing where when we level up, we get certain amount of skill points that we can like allocate to health or stamina or special abilities or things like that. And in terms of like the story, I love the story of 2018's God of War. I mean, there was very little that I could have possibly asked for to be different in that game. But in terms of some of the things that I would love to see in this God of War, I want them to double down the story. And I have no doubt that they're going to do that. I'm actually fully confident that they're going to take what they did in God of War 2018 and absolutely double down on that. And that's something that I'm really excited about. I hope that we get a chance to learn more about Kratos as a character. Learn more about his relationship with Atreus, because this game does take place a little bit away from the original. So I want to say it's like maybe a couple years after the events of God of War 2018. So, I would love to see them continue to double down on that emotional aspect of the game. When I look back at the original God of War, that was one of my favorite aspects, was the ability to really invest in these characters and invest in this story. And so I really hope that they don't shy away from that in this game, and that the story continues to feel full and lush and vibrant and, provide everything that we have come to love in the first one. And I know this kind of goes hand in hand with the Valkyrie boss fights, but it's kind of like my next point. I think this is like number 5 or 6 or something like that, which is I would love for them to have increased boss fights. Now, the boss fights that we had in the first one were absolutely insane. But in God of War Ragnarok, I would love if we get the chance to fight Odin. I would love a chance if we get to fight Odin. And the boss fights in the first one were really cool, but I'm highly anticipating we'll end up getting into a brawl with Freya. I feel like we're definitely getting into, the trailer pretty much says it all, that we're definitely going to get into a fight with Thor. Not sure how that's going to play out, but we're definitely going to get into a fight with Thor, and I'd love if we get into a fight with Odin. That would be insane. So that's something I'm hopeful for, is more boss fights, and then specifically those boss fights, at least 2 out of 3, and I'd be happy. And in the first God of War, we got these things, they were like ultimate abilities, but you couldn't get them till I don't remember. I think you could only get them when you beat the game or when you were close to the end, something like that. But you got the opportunity to get these ultimate abilities, and I think you could only afford like one at the time. You had to get like a lot of points and XP before you could buy more than one. But they had one for the Leviathan axe. They had a special ability for the Blades of Chaos, and they were like some of the coolest animations in the entire game. So in God of War Ragnarok, I would love to see new ultimate abilities, some ones that we can kind of look forward to. Maybe like it would be cool if we could see them at the very bottom of the skill tree, and just give us something to look forward to and maybe try to build into as we play through the game. Speaking of abilities, how can we talk about abilities without speaking on weapons? So in God of War Ragnarok, in the first God of War 2018, we got the Leviathan Axe, which I loved, and Blades of Chaos. Now, from what we can see in the trailers and some of the gameplay, both of those weapons are coming back. But knowing Santa Monica Studio and how much time and effort that they put into this game, I would be very surprised if they don't have a third weapon, maybe even a fourth weapon in this game. I think four weapons is reaching it, but I'd be very surprised if we don't get a third weapon, either Gungnir or Mjolnir, which is the spear, the hammer, from Odin and Thor. It would be so cool if we can get those two weapons. I've noticed in the trailers, as I've been rewatching them this week, that they never show a third weapon. They never show anything new. Everything that you're seeing in the trailers are kind of outside of like enemy types and new locales, are things that we've kind of seen in the first game. But it'd be very crazy to believe that they're going to take you through this whole journey and never introduce you to a new weapon. I don't know. I'd be very surprised. So I'm very much anticipating and hopeful that we get at least one new weapon, because we have the frost, we have the fire, with the Blades of Chaos. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something that wields thunder, like Mjolnir or something like that. And I know Mjolnir is like a throwable, and some people don't want another throwable weapon. But the only throwable weapon that we really have, I guess the Blades of Chaos are throwable too, and some of the abilities. So maybe the spear would be sick too. I don't know. Or maybe they come up with something entirely new, crafted by, Tyr himself. I think that would be pretty cool. But I'd be very surprised if they don't introduce us with something new in God of War Ragnarok. And I think last but not least, number 10, I would love for us to get new dope armor. Now, I highly anticipate us having new armor in the game, but I feel like there was such a risk. I mean, there was such a risk reward system that I didn't really like with the armor in the original God of War. And I would love if the, armor sets could be a thing. And I think they were in the first one, but I'd love to see them double down on that in a way and have the layout be a bit more uniformed. I found myself confused, and I think once I got to a certain armor in God of War, I wasn't equipping anything else. Like, I got to armor that I liked, that looked good. Even if I was getting armor that looked better later down the line, I was still only ever using this armor. That was it for me. So I hope that even at the base armor in the game, that we get stuff that looks pretty cool. And it'd be really awesome if we got armor exclusive to each realm. So in each realm that we visit, I could imagine us being introduced to a new armor set that very much fits in line with that kind of world and that realm. That would be cool. And obviously, like, you could still wear it outside and go into different areas and wear them, but it'd be cool to see the design team, if the design team took on very specific aesthetics with each of the armor types, like what we kind of saw in God of War 2018. But that's it. That's my list. My top 10. I think it was 10. It might have been 9. I don't know. I'm really excited for God of War Ragnarok. I'm very much looking forward to this title, and I cannot wait for it to come out. I hope that you guys are as well. Like I said before, follow me on, here. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'll put a graphic up for this channel and where else you can find me and things like that. All the links should be in my channel page of where you can find me, my other YouTube and stuff like that. We're everywhere, and I'd love to have you guys along for the ride as we continue just chasing our passions and doing the things that we love. But I'm very excited about God of War Ragnarok. I cannot wait for this game, and I hope that this series does well. And with your help, I think we can get there. I'm hoping for like at least 10 likes on the first video. But either way, as long as you guys are along with me on the journey, I'm happy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you enjoy the video, drop a like on this. It really helps out. I'm very much looking forward to God of War. We only got one more sleep left, and tomorrow we will be diving into a brand new adventure together, and I cannot wait. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. As always, my name is That Guy Rye, and I'll see you in the next one.